emails, and we'll open things up with an opening statement from Coach Daniels.
Sure. Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Minnesota State, worthy champions. They played a whale of a game, I thought, and certainly we tip our hats to them. They played an excellent game. On our, overall, I thought maybe off to a bit of a slow start today. I thought we were back on our heels. I thought throughout the second we started to carry the play, and then in the third we just needed to find a way to score a goal. And if you had to look at maybe one moment, a defining moment or a turning point, if you will, would have been the third goal that they scored. You could see goals were going to be tough to come by. Each team had some pretty good quality opportunities, not a ton of great ones. Maybe early on Minnesota State did, but as the game progressed, scoring chances for both teams were starting to dry up. And when they got the third goal, that was a tough 2-goal deficit to try to overcome. But all in all, too, real proud of our players. Though I'm as always very appreciative of their efforts, and I feel for them. We came up short tonight. The good news is we'll have an opportunity to move forward and kind of erase this one from our memory bank, if you will. I think it's really important if you're going to be a very good team and move very far. You've got to have a short-term memory, whether you win or you lose. And today come Monday we'll have a short-term memory on this.
Okay, questions for the student athletes?
For either of you, how difficult was it to get it looked to me like they were blocking you out and you weren't able to get a lot of good shots directly on the net. Was that just something was that your perception as well? Was it really difficult to find good scoring chances?
I think we had a little difficulty getting in the zone in the first period. They did do a good job blocking shots, and especially in the third they had 2 good ones. But I think in the second, and even in parts of the third, we had some good chances. There was one I had right in front of the net. I got right through them. So we just didn't capitalize. They did a pretty good job blocking out when they needed to.
I agree with him. The point, sometimes some chances you were there, and sometimes they had good blocks, but just the way hockey goes, and the lanes, sometimes in the lane, sometimes you're not. It's the way they come out to you. So.
Cory, you played with Gerald Mayhew, who made first team in this tournament. Can you talk about the impact that you thought he had since you played with him?
Yeah, Gerald's been real good. Definitely a key part of the line I'm on, and we would give him a hard time because he was getting a lot of chances. He just wasn't putting them away. But this weekend he found a way, and he had a 2-goal game last night. He had a big one tonight as well. And he just I think we're all pretty good on that line, and it's different times. It's going to be a different guy putting in the net, but this weekend was his.
Cory, could you talk a little bit about the team's momentum and what you take out of this tournament?
Yeah, definitely. Momentum played a big factor. I think it plays a factor in every game, but we got off to a little bit of a slow start, found ourselves 2 in the hole. We battled back in the second. We had all the momentum. They were really on their heels. We got one, and then that third goal in the third period, kind of just took the wind out of our sails. We still had some jump after that, but it definitely played a factor.
Anything else for the student athletes?
For either of you again, how much knowing that you knew coming into this game that you'd be playing next week, and I know you wanted a championship tonight, but knowing that you're going to be playing, how much does that sort of mitigate the loss?
We had to accept the loss. Like Coach said, though, we're going to accept the loss tonight, and Monday we're going to turn around and be ready for the next team we play. We find out Sunday, so it's just a short-term memory. That's how hockey is. A quick turnaround, and we're back at it.
It definitely sucks.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You can't really take it away, but definitely, we got another shot, and it's always good. It could be done for the season like some other teams, so I'm definitely thankful for an opportunity next week.
Okay, thanks, gentlemen. You're free to go. Now we're opening the floor to questions for Coach Daniels.
Yeah.
You noted last night after the game, another tough fought game, that you had a couple guys sick, and the game really took a lot out of you guys probably. Did you feel like tonight you were a little slow, your legs weren't quite underneath you?
No, I was worried about that going in, but no. As a matter of fact, Cory Kane, I thought had a lot of jump tonight. I thought he played a well the game, and he was the one that suffered the most and I was most concerned with. I know Scott here was under the weather today going in, but again, he probably played 30 minutes, and I didn't see any ill effects. I thought we were fine that way. I don't think there was any residual from yesterday at all in tonight's game. I just thought Minnesota State played a well game and was ahead. Just they were had the edge, and I wouldn't say by a great margin in my opinion, but they definitely had the edge. And one of the concerns I had tonight was it seemed like we were kind of a one, like maybe even on the weekend, a one line that with the Kane, Huff, and Mayhew line really generate a lot of our offense. And we're Buzzio, Garrett, Thompson were a little bit quiet. They didn't, for whatever reason, they just didn't seem to have it this weekend. And we're at our best when we've got multiple, 3 lines that are really, really going. And I almost had a feeling at times that if it wasn't going to come from Kane's line, we may not, I didn't know where it was going to come from. And we were off just a bit on our passing. I thought the movement of the puck from our defensemen to our forwards, just a bit off and enough to slow down our attack. And whether it's our forwards that weren't moving enough away from the puck, so that they weren't catching it with speed, or whether the D were moving it quite quick enough on the tape, but it was off, and it wasn't. It's hard against a really good defensive team, and we did have some chances. I thought Huggins made some very good stops, a few on Cory Kane, but overall we were just off a titch, and that's something we'll have to zero in on in the week ahead here. We'll have to find a way to be a deeper offensive team than what I thought we were this weekend, and for the most part through the 30 plus, 35 plus games up till this weekend, we did have a lot of depth in scoring. This weekend, it just seemed like Kane's line, with Mayhew and Huff were the ones that were the most dangerous for us. And we're a deeper team than that. We need to be like that in order to penetrate deep into the NCAA tournament.
How much of a factor was it playing this particular team? I know they've had your number this season.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's a factor that they're good, from that standpoint. That's a factor, and I thought they played very well. But I don't think we went into the game confident, but certainly with a healthy dose of respect for Minnesota State, and so I think it was a factor only to the extent that they're a really good team and they played very well.
Bob, compared to last time you guys went into the NCAA tournament, how are you feeling about this team and what they just went through in the postseason here?
Well, it's interesting. Both times now we've gone in losing, if you will, are the last 2 times we've been there. Much better than I did the time before. The time before we won the CCHA 2 years ago, and we got knocked out in the first round by Bowling Green. That was devastating. I'm not going to fib you about that. Short-term memories we had. It was a good thing we had a week off in between, because that one really stung. This one hurts, but hey, Minnesota State's a really good hockey team, and I would expect them to go very. I think they have a legitimate chance to go deep into this tournament. I think we do too. So I'm already. Shaking this one off, and like I said, I think it really is important whether we win the league or whatever is done is done. You got to have a short-term memory, and come Monday, the only things we'll talk about are the things we could improve upon. We'll try to learn from the weekend, but we don't want to dwell on it. We'll just look forward, and we've got a lot to play for yet.
This loss doesn't sting as bad then as that Bowling Green defeat.
They all sting, they all sting a lot, but truthfully, no, that was devastating that time before. We erased that, but that was, just put myself back 2 years ago right after that was a tough, I can say this, Bowling Green played well that weekend. Their goalie was outstanding. I don't want to take anything away from them. It's just that you had a certain amount of momentum we had going forward, and that was that was devastating. This is highly painful.
One last question.
you had the penalty kill going this weekend, or at least tonight, against a team that put 3 for 6 power play on you earlier this year. You knew that their power play was dangerous. Does this give you more confidence in your penalty kill going into the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I mean, our penalty kill's been really good the last month and a half, maybe the entire second half. The first half, I thought it was lacking. It may be a Achilles heel of the team. The second half, it's been really, really good. Matter of fact, I'd like to see the plus minus. We scored a lot of shorthanded goals. We're probably on the minus side, but not by much. So the penalty kill's been outstanding. You know, certainly tonight, it was one thing we preached hard. Everyone knows how good Minnesota State's power play is, and we wanted to stay out of the box. I think you know, we were shorthanded 3 times, but overall, we did a really good job on the kill. And we have a lot of confidence right now on our penalty kill.
Thanks, Coach Dennis.
Thank you.
Good luck next week.
Yeah, thanks.